Item number 14.
Item number 14, resolve ratifying the conclusion of the city clerk that the application to circulate petitions for an initiative or referendum regarding agreement with Brookfield White Pine of Canada for acquisition or exchange of canal is not a permissible subject for a citizen initiative referendum, and therefore that the city clerk cannot issue a proper petition. Requested action to approve the resolve ratifying the conclusion of the city clerk that the application to circulate petitions for an initiative or referendum regarding agreement with the Brookfield White Pine of Canada for acquisition or exchange of canal is not a permissible subject for a citizen initiative referendum, and therefore that the city clerk cannot issue a proper petition.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Lysen, seconded by Councilor Golden. We have some explanation of why it isn't.
Yes, in your packet, there's some information. Basically, when Kathy got the petition and sent it to me, I had some concerns about how it was worded, in particular whether it would be, whether it was a binding question or whether it was an advisory one. And I also asked, in light of previous opinions from the city attorney, whether he felt it was an appropriate, if it qualified for a referendum. And basically there's two documents in the packet from the city attorney. One is on this particular referendum, which basically also refers to an earlier memorandum that he did back in August of 2015 on a separate petition involving 2 and 26 Oxford Street. And basically he concludes the two situations are very similar and that it is administrative, not legislative in nature. The actions of the council, or the contemplated action of purchasing the canal, or acquiring the canals, because we're not really purchasing them, is an administrative action in furtherance of a broader policy that's embedded in the city's comprehensive plan and Riverfront Island master plan that calls for the city to acquire the canals. He also indicated that he was concerned about the language because it was unclear whether the proponent was seeking action regarding a proposed or actual resolution of the city council, since city council passed a resolve authorizing us to proceed, and thought it should be in a different form, even if you assuming that the subject was a proper one. So I think there were two elements of concern that he raised. I had a chance to talk to Mr. Soul, who is the organizer of this, last Thursday? I think it was Thursday.
8:30.
Where I mentioned to him some of these concerns, and I also rechecked with the city attorney, and he reaffirmed that he's comfortable with his opinion that the way it's worded and presented, it's not appropriate. There probably is a way to do that, to get at what Mr. Soul would like to do, but it needs to be in a somewhat different form.
Okay. Is there any questions or discussion at this point? Hearing none, go ahead. Public.
Yes, I had a discussion with Mr. Barrett in his office, and he had brought up the fact that the riverfront master plan might be an obstruction of my petition. First of all, when the riverfront master plan was accepted, the city did not have control of the canal at the time. So therefore, I doubt whether that the city had the rights to even introduce it into the master plan, as Auburn was tied in regards to the master plan at that time due to maintenance agreements. Another thing is that the agreement was brought forward by Mr. Barrett at a special meeting on the 14th, and no, the public didn't have any viewing of that issue because until it was placed on the docket or agenda that following Friday and put to the website at 8:30, at 4:30 in the afternoon. Well, then it was supposed to be moved on Tuesday. So the 14th was Thursday, and you people met, and you said you would listen to it at the next city council meeting. But the 14th, the 15th was Friday, and it wasn't posted to the city agenda website till 4:30 p.m. Saturday was a holiday. Saturday was a weekend. Sunday and Monday was Patriots' Day. So for an individual to have who would have any questions in regard to the agreement, who might want to ask questions about it, would have to get in touch with the city administrator to set up some sort of interview session to discuss it, which would have been on that Tuesday, the same Tuesday you people vote. And I think that is something that should be brought out. I collected these signatures, and I posed the question with the aid of the city clerk. She, I told her what I wanted and put. But I will accept whatever you people decide, and maybe I will attempt it again. It's hard for a layperson, to come out of the public and write these questions, then to submit them to the city just to have them bounce back to you. You people can and could accept this vote this down, and you yourselves could put this out to vote. You don't even have to wait for me to collect 1,000 signatures. You people could put it to the voters and show your side of how you would have the public's view on the issue. And you got to remember that the American economy faltered this quarter, and then the fact is that state revenue sharing is down. So we're looking for a lot of problems coming our way. I don't think this is the time for the canal to be undertaken by the city of Lewiston and be hung around their neck like it was a yoke. But anyways, my opinion is that I would wish you people would put it out to the voter on your vote, not me having to collect 1,000 signatures. Have a good night.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Yes, Gus.
I'd just like to respond to Mr. Sewell and thank him for your tenacity and your attention to municipal government, which is unending. And a lot of people in this city don't have that. So I thank you for that. On this particular agreement, I could not disagree with you more. My personal opinion is your referendum is ill-conceived. However, while I disagree with your motives and your reasoning, I will not accept staff's recommendation to deny you your petition. I won't be authorizing any referendum. I believe if you want to do that, it is your right to collect those signatures and put this on the ballot. As much as I cringe at the thought of this being kicked down the road, I'm going to be consistent here and not deny anybody their right to petition their government, regardless of opinions that lawyers give, because lawyers can give all kinds of opinions from any different issue, any different side. I vehemently disagree with you on this, but I will not deny your right to collect these signatures and put this to the vote if you are successful in doing that.
Thank you.
Councilor Joline, and then Councilor Bouchard.
Thanks for coming out. I echo a lot of what Councilor Lachance said. I just want to add this one thing. I would not deny you your right to do that. I would just caution you that we don't want to be sending every decision that comes before this council to referendum. We'd never get anything done. I'm not going to deny you your access to gathering 1,000 petitions and putting it on the ballot if you want. But I would just throw that out there as something you want to think about. We don't want to set a trend that every single decision we have the authority to make to be sent to referendum, we'd never get anything done. So just want to put that out there for you. I wish you well. I too will vote against this.
Councilor Bouchard?
I have to echo everything both of them just said. I believe it is about consistency. When this came up with Oxford Street, I was very much against that purchase, and I made the statement that I'm not going to step on anyone's right to petition their government or to send something to the voters. And although I could not disagree with you more on this canal issue, and I think a lot of your problems with the canal issue are completely unfounded and taken care of in the agreement, I'm not going to deny you your right to get your 1,000 signatures. But I would encourage you to drop the matter on a personal note, but I'm not going to vote against you either, Chuck.
Any other comment? Call the roll.
Counselor from Ward 2?
No.
Ward 3?
No.
Ward 4?
No.
Ward 6?
No.
Ward 7?
No.
Ward 1?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Motion failed by a vote of 2 to 5.
Thank you and good night.